Hey, I'm Ross from Haken. We are here in Helsinki, in Finland, about to do an amazing rock and roll show for all the people here. Great, because we've come over from Sweden, we tend to take the Viking, like a cruise line, across to here, and that can get a bit wild. So it's the party ship. Really.
Yeah, it was I presume a Friday or a Saturday when you came. So
right, so it's a Saturday night. So no, we're feeling good. It's like the latter end of the tour now. There's 3 shows to go. It's been awesome. Finally able to play like the Virus songs, but also introduce like a few songs from the new album, and the reception's been great. We've had great audiences, so yeah, we're a little bit tired now, but we're tighter than ever, so the shows are going great. I did post about it on my Instagram because I was worried that people were maybe thinking I was going wrong, I don't know, with my vocals or whatever. But the truth was, I caught a really bad flu and fever in Lyon, I think. And then for a whole week, I was just shivering in my bed in the tour bus, and I was resurrected for the shows. I had to go to the hospital in Seville in the end to get some medication. But, these things happen on tour. You're away for a long time. We're going to a different country every day, pretty much, experiencing temperature shifts, and like someone's bound to get ill at some point, so I do everything I can to like keep healthy and hygiene in top form, but yeah, these things happen, unfortunately. But I didn't think it affected the shows too much. When the adrenaline kicks in, like that almost goes away completely, and then when the show's over, I'm like, oh, back to bed. But yeah, that was just a week, and the last 2 weeks I've been, singing better than ever, so it's been great.
Yeah, it's always funny when singers are like, "Oh, I'm sick." Then I don't think my adrenaline would even kick in during a
It's crazy. Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but there's something really thrilling about performing in the way we do. The music's so intense, it just happens. On this tour, we've only been playing the singles, really, so the songs that people are kind of familiar with. Certainly at the beginning of the tour, the album wasn't out, so that felt like the right decision. There's obviously some tracks that we kept back from the fans until the album release, which we're dying to play live, but we felt that we'd just stick to the same set list for now, and the plan is to come back around next year and do a proper celebration of Fauna, and so we're planning that right now. Yeah. It was hard to choose the set list for that reason, because this tour really is the tour we were supposed to do in 2020, which got postponed several times. And we never got the chance to play those Virus songs live. They were designed to play live, so we felt we needed to honour that. But don't worry though. If songs like Elephants Never Forget and Sempiternal Beings, I've seen out there have become fan favourites from the new record, so we're hoping to play those ones next time for sure. A major stamp, really. Having Pete return to the band just gave everyone a really renewed sense of excitement, and you say playful, and I'd agree with you, because we did just have a lot of fun with the writing. Pete was heavily involved from day one with fresh ideas of his own, which we'd develop as a band, and it gave us kind of even like a new sound to explore, which is really cool, because we're always looking to try new things. But it's been great, and on a personal level as well. It's just fantastic to have our friend back in the band, after all these years. It's great. Yeah, it's good vibes. That was a really successful experiment, because in the past we'd been separate and sending files and working that way. It's quite a slow process. We found when writing Virus that was a really successful format, because we could bounce ideas off each other in real time. We could really flesh out vocal lines and give everyone an opportunity to have their say on that and the structures of the songs, and it all came together a lot quicker, and we were really happy with how that flowed. This time around, instead of on the bus, we rented out an apartment and lived with each other for 7, 8, 9 days or something like that, and put all the ideas that we had for Fauna together that way. And it was the right decision, because we had a lot of fun. First of all, connecting with Pete properly, and and just enjoying each other's company, and the results. I think it shines through on the results actually, how experimental it was and how free we were with our designing the formats of the songs.
Yeah. Well, in terms of like experimentation, if somebody came up with like a crazy idea, is that something you instantly would jump on and actually try, or? Yeah,
there was loads of examples of that, from the sort of pop-centric ideas in Alphabet of Me with the rapping vocals, and then there was the shouting vocal section in Beneath the White Rainbow, which has caused some controversy among some fans. But like, it was just an experiment that we all thought fitted the song and the themes of the song really well, and like just to try new things like that, just broadens the palette of the band, of the sound that we're creating. And I like that experimentation. I don't like to stay too rigid in the boxes that we've created for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, there's a band that we all really enjoy called Everything Everything. They're a UK indie band, and they have a vocal style, like rapid, fast singing style like that. And I wanted to kind of pay homage to that style, what we like, and see if it worked in one of our songs. And it felt like the right fit. I'm not sure I'll do that often, but like, it was just a cool thing, it just gives it its own character.
Yeah. Is it a difficult song to sing live, actually?
Not really. Once you've done it a few times and rehearsed it, it's fine.
Yeah.
It was tricky actually initially to come up with the words, the right amount of syllables, and it has to make sense, has to have meaning as well, and sound good. So it was tricky to put together. But once it's locked in, and it's you can just do it over and over. It just stays with you. It's easy on the tongue actually. So.
Yeah. Well,
I'll say that now. I'm going to mess it up tonight. Well,
yeah, maybe I should film that too and put it in here to see. I'm sure it will be fine.
It felt like a fresh start. Like the pandemic was the line drawn there. Pete joining the band, obviously. A lot of changes happened in that time. So, it did feel like a fresh start, and I think we needed to do that with the artwork as well. The last few records have been quite geometric, very simple in style. We love it, it's effective, but this record had more colours to it, and we wanted that to translate onto the artwork. So we found Dan Goldsworthy. Well, Charlie found him first actually. He used him for the Tiktaalik solo record, and we were blown away by his hand painting style, and we all unanimously thought, we've got to get this guy to do the next Haken record. It made sense. And he had access to the demos and a lot of our ideas behind the songs and all the lyrics, like way ahead before we recorded it. So he could immerse himself in that world and create this piece of art, which you now have as the album artwork.
Yeah, it's a really cool piece.
We're all thrilled with it. It's just amazing.
I saw you also visited your own tour. Right.
He visited us, because he's based in, I think it's Aberdeen, in Scotland. We did a show in Glasgow, so we travelled to see our show, and he actually gave us some like large prints that he'd done of the album sleeve and the Alphabet of Me artwork, which there were several pieces that he did for the record, which we used as single artwork as well. So. It was nice to actually meet in person finally. He's a great guy. I didn't consciously put any in for that reason of drawing the line. However, you will find some Easter eggs in the artwork that have references to previous Haken works, and
the moonfish.
Right, so the moonfish thing has run throughout since Aquarius. That's been sort of an in-joke that's run throughout, and has become sort of our unofficial logo now. It's kind of weird, but fun. In the wallpaper section, there are references to all the individual members as well. So there's something that you can decode there, and it's just a fun extra for fans. Not just to have the music streaming and that's it, it's something they can actually hold and discover new things, and we feel that's important in presentation.
It's also cool because I feel like, especially on Reddit, there's like a lot of theories and such about Haken's music and the lyrics and such.
Yeah, I love reading that because lyrics are open to interpretation as well, and some people get it right on the money, and some people have these perspectives on it that I would never have imagined, or like I'll go, oh wow, yeah, that's incredible how like maybe subconsciously that I put that in there. It's really fun to read those things. It was so much fun to write and so much fun to record. There was a lot of experimentation, lots of new ideas put into the pot. We are relearning it on this tour to perform in the North American tour that's coming up. It's fun hearing all those parts again, isolated, and listening to like Richard and Charlie relearning everything and playing it again. I can't wait to play that, and I'll be able to answer that for you in a couple of months. I think it's going to be a great live track.
I think so too, especially that opening section. I think it will be fun to experience that from the audience side as well. But let's see in the future.
We'll see. Yeah, you never can tell. Some songs I wouldn't have expected to be really effective live have turned out to be, and vice versa. So you never know. But I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah, they're always like nonsensical things that have no references to anything of importance. Or I think we had something called "It Is What It Is." I'm not sure why. I think Nightingale was always Nightingale. Elephants Never Forget, what was that? I'm the wrong part, I've completely forgotten. But yeah, they're usually really silly things. Gojira obviously being, we had this like riff section in that song which reminded us of Gojira.
Well, you mentioned that Nightingale was always Nightingale, right? So is that maybe what gave you the idea to the theme, or was that something you already thought of like ages ago?
So we, in the very early stages, we were discussing ideas about how to present this album. We didn't want it to be narrative, but we did want some themes that linked so the body of work makes sense as a unit, and so we came up with this idea of spirit animals and totems and things like this, and we had a whole list of different animals that interested us, that had some maybe something about their characteristics that we could reference, talking about singing about the human world, and just those links basically. Nightingale came about. We were referencing heavily the Hans Christian Andersen short story, The Nightingale, in that track, and there's also references to the creative process itself. So. Writer's block, things like that. But that's sort of a side thing. So it's like the John Keats poem Nightingale as well. Sort of, we had all these kind of ideas that we wanted to put together for that. That was pretty much where we were coming from. That one.
Well, you mentioned also spirit animals, which made me think. Do you guys have any sort of like animals that
Do I have an animal spirit?
A spirit animal of yourself or your bandmates, even like.
I don't think we've thought about it too deeply in that sense, but one thing that sort of springs to mind was that, particularly for the last track, The Eyes of Ebony, which was an ode to Richard's late father, and Rich had this idea about, I guess, linking it to the plight of the white rhino, they're now extinct. I think there's 2 females left on planet Earth. And thought that rhino for him represented the spirit animal for his father who passed. So there was a strong link there about loss and extinction. So that's spiraled the ideas of having spirit animals for the other tracks as well. I think that's cool because then they could all stand on their own, have their own identity, and that's what it is to me. This album has very distinct, diverse individual tracks that stand on their own feet and don't rely on other songs in the album to be enjoyed. Sure. I mean, I guess only talk vocally, but there's a few sections on the album which I wanted to, I guess homage is the right word, Alice in Chains. I love that sort of harmony style. There's one or two moments where I've done that. That's metal though. Not if you're talking non-metal. I would say you're better to ask the other guys, but in the instrumental stuff, because I know Pete's heavily jazz influenced. There's an artist called Tigran Hamasyan, which we mention a lot in interviews actually. And Beneath the White Rainbow has a whole middle section where it's Tigran plays in this sort of Meshuggah style piano, where there's a lot of like low end stabs and staccato rhythms, and so yeah, Pete wanted to integrate that into that song, for example. That worked really well. That's a non-metal reference.
Yeah.
Ray is very heavily influenced by many things as well, so a lot of I guess like rhythmic patterns from other culture styles and other different cultures make their way into his playing as well, which is really interesting. They make for more interesting drum patterns. With shows, we're quite busy. So we have the North American tour, followed by a whole string of European festivals mostly, which is really exciting. We've done like a week or two of festivals in the past, but never like a whole full season. So it's going to be great to plant ourselves in front of fresh audiences, hopefully. Apart from shows, there's not really much writing going on at the moment, other than some like side projects. I've reconnected with Neil Morse and Nick DiVigilio to work on a second Troika album. Don't know what it's going to be called yet. So yeah, there'll be some other activity like on the side perhaps, but where Haken are concerned, it's more about shows, supporting Virus, giving it the proper live celebration it deserves. And I think that cycle will run well into 2024 as well. So
yeah, so lots
hoping
of
to travel the world and get it all out there.
Are you actually, because you mentioned that you never really did like the long festival runs, are you excited about the festival shows?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some pretty major ones that we've been booked for.
You're booked really for Grass Pop, right?
Grass Pop, Downloads is the UK one we've been dying to play for so many years, and finally got a chance to be on that bill on the same day as Metallica, no less. So that's big. Yeah, a whole bunch of others, which are going to be great fun, really. Can't wait. I have many thoughts. But really just to say thank you for listening, thank you for your support. Keep sharing the music, tell your friends. We're really thrilled to be still doing this post-pandemic. After everything, bands have fallen to the wayside because of it. And judging by the tour we've just been on, like it's thriving and it's all coming back in a big way, so yeah, feels good.